Hey, good afternoon, guys. We're back again for another TISA SEL chat. My name is Sean Gazala. I am the TISA PACS coordinator at the Staten Island Partnership for Community Wellness. I am joined with 5 of my friends and colleagues that work at United Activities Unlimited. These folks work with our teachers, help our teachers to be better and more successful, compassionate educators, right? Which is definitely important right now in the midst of this public health crisis, right? We want certainly adults and our children need all the social and emotional support we can get. So Michelle, Danielle, Christine, Melissa, and John, I thank you for joining me this week. And this week we are going to talk about an experience Danielle had with her parents at a school. Danielle, tell us more.
Thanks, Sean. So I just wanted to share an experience that I had last week with my parents at PS20. They've been starting town halls, which have been great. It's been a great platform to connect to parents. But parents have made it very clear that something they're struggling with is creating structure within their home because their children are in a completely different setting. They're transitioning to homeschool, basically. I'm trying to understand how to cope with everything as well. So there's, emotional connections, there's transitioning with everything. So it's been a lot for the parents. So something I suggested and that I pitched was having a vision board, a virtual PACS vision board event where I would just break down what a vision board looks like, how they can use it at home, and how they could mainly use it to target where their child's needs need to be met, whether it's focusing on what they want to feel more or do more while they're home, socializing with their friends, whatever the case may be. And a lot of parents wanted it. And now I am in the midst of reviewing it with teachers. And then hopefully next week, parents are going to be jumping in so they could do it with their children. So it's, that parent engagement piece that I've been wanting is finally coming to light, which is wonderful. So I figured we could just talk a little bit more about vision and just break it down. Christine, do you want to share a little bit about vision?
Yes, definitely. I'm so happy you suggested that because vision boards are so important and so helpful. I've noticed how beneficial vision boards can be in the classroom, especially. It gives students a chance to suggest and identify positive behaviors, and it gives them a clear visual of expectations and roles. It's really important for children to suggest ideas and contribute to the vision so they know they identified it themselves and helps them remember. I really think you can create the vision board at home as well. Creating a vision poster with your child to share ideas on how learning at home will be most successful will really help them remember the guidelines, the expectations, and the rules they should have in the home as well. So I know, Melissa, you have experience using the vision board. Would you like to share?
Yes, absolutely. So as the lady said, we have been sharing vision board instructions with the teachers, but now that we're home, it looks a little different. So I wanted to share actually one of the vision boards that one of my kindergarten teachers, Ms. Solomon, made with her virtual class. And as you can see, the kids and Ms. Solomon and Ms. Val created this together online. And these are things that they actually want to see, hear, do, and feel. And also the teachers. So it's the children, it's the teachers. And then I wanted to kind of dive in on how we could use this at home. Again, some of you guys know I have a 6-year-old at home. And like, for instance, as you can see, after you create the do, I'm going to go into do the schoolwork because that's where most parents are having struggle balancing. So say if Rosie's sitting down doing her schoolwork, I will predict with her in the beginning of that. So I would look at the vision. I would say, hey, you see how we want to do our schoolwork when it's time? I would say, okay, Ro, give me 2 things that will help you to achieve this goal. So we'll have a little conversation. And like this week, we talked about her. She's in 1st grade. So we talked about her writing on the red line when she starts her sentences. And the other prediction was her capitalizing all her beginning of her letter. So I was very specific with her, though you took it right off the vision. So now we know we're into vision, but we're specific. And then after we're done with that after I say, okay, Ro, you did a good job with starting your capital letters, and I see you started at the red line. And how do you think you did with that? And I'll ask her. So these are just little conversations that help children to stay motivated. They know that they're held accountable for everything on the vision board. And it's a good way to see how you guys are doing. And even if you do this, like even for chores around the house, you want to always come back to the vision board. How are we doing with this? And the kids will tell you, I did horrible this week. Oh, I didn't do that well. Your kids are very communicative. So it's a good way to start, good way to plan, and a good way to help structure some of those, behaviors and nuisances out of the schedule. So I'm going to pass it over to Michelle.
Hey everyone, so I just wanted to show you, I created a vision board. You can make it a little fancy if you'd like. I hope that you can see it okay. I'm just going to try to move back. So I followed the same guidelines, see, hear, feel, and do. This I think is really good for the younger kids, so maybe they're not at a reading level yet, kindergarten, first grade, still kind of learning, so putting pictures with words. So, now they're learning virtually, so they want to see smiles. At the bottom here, I put seeing their friends online, like the Google Classroom, things like that. So you can even just draw something if you'd like. I cut these out of magazines, got some stuff online. Whatever you have at home, whatever tools, make it colorful. This is just a way to kind of get the kids involved even more and show their creative side. So I just wanted to put this together, and all I did for this, because I don't have the big paper at home, taped some computer paper, got a couple colors, and it was really simple and fun. So I think that would be a great way to do that with the kids. So just labeling it, putting some photos, and I think that kind of shows you a really good idea of what it can look like if you want to get creative. And that's what I have to share. So if John, you will, thank you. John, what do you think?
Well, I have a similar view to all of you with the vision board. I actually use it quite often with my niece and nephew when I watch them. And what I do with the vision board is I do it verbally. One, because of a visual disability, so making a chart really won't work for me. And also, I find it a little bit more, adapting it to my life, I find it a little bit more useful when I can use it without having a physical board around. So for instance, there was one time where we went to Target, and me and my girlfriend going to Target, my niece and nephew, and we needed to outline some expectations for our Target run. So we used a vision. And what we did is we outlined 2 expectations that we wanted them to fulfill. And we outlined 2 expectations that have happened in the past that we don't really want to happen again. So we made this expectations along with the children. So we asked them, okay, guys, so last time we came to Target, what were some things that we didn't want to do that we did? And one of the kids said, well, walking away from you. I said, that's right. It's one behavior that we don't want you guys to do. We don't want you guys to walk away from us. Okay. What was another thing that you guys did that we don't want to necessarily do this time? Oh, well, last time, we got in trouble because we started picking up candy from the counter. And I said, that's right. We don't want to just pick up anything we see that we want. We want to ask permission first. So that's great. So here's some things that we do want to see. We want you to walk with us, and we want you guys to have fun when we go here, right? So those are 2 positive expectations, 2 behaviors that we want them to fulfill, having fun and walking alongside of us, and 2 behaviors that we don't want them to fulfill. We don't want them to walk away from us, and don't want them to pick up any kind of candy or any kind of just random items off the counter and just run around with it. So this is how we applied the vision to a real life scenario. As we walked through the store, we did some monitoring. So as the children walk around the store, and we're like, oh, good job. Thank you for not walking too far away from us. Okay, great job. Thank you for not picking up the candy as we walked past the candy display. Thank you for not playing with all the toys in the aisle and making a mess in the toy section. So we were monitoring their behavior as it was performing. As they were performing the correct behaviors, right? And as the unwanted behaviors came up, we addressed them also, because it is important to make sure children learn how to make mistakes and how to fail properly, right? Failing and making mistakes is part of life. It is known as a scientific fact that people get just as much information from making mistakes and failing as they do from succeeding. And again, that's important for children to learn these days. So they are going to mess up. They are kids, and even adults mess up. So if they do pick up a toy and they start making a mess with it, we Again, we address it. We have them fix it, make it nice and neat, put it back. If they do pick up a candy bar, we address it. We have them put the candy bar back, clean up the mess they made. So again, we're monitoring both the good behaviors, the behaviors we want to see more of, and the unwanted behaviors, the behaviors we don't want to see any more of. And then once we are done with the target run, we reflect upon how we went through Target or how we walked through Target. So, okay, guys, how did we do this time when we visited Target? Did we stay together or did we walk away from each other? Did we make a mess and play with the toys and candy bars and grab things off the shelves, or did we keep everything nice and neat? And depending on how they performed, then they would get some sort of reward. In that situation, when we made the Target run, their reward was to go over to Ralph's Ices and get some ices. And if they didn't succeed, if they didn't do well, again, they wouldn't get the Ralph's Ices because, again, making mistakes and learning how to make mistakes and learning how to fail in a healthy manner is part of life. And that's one way where I normally use the vision on the fly without having charts and in a real life scenario with my niece and nephew. What do you think, Sean?
That's great. I really appreciate how you guys broke that down. You get a sense that we can do this sort of on a simple level as issues come up. We can do this even collectively with a classroom virtually, or we can do this sort of over time with family and even decorate it and make it look cute and artsy for each other. So yeah, it's great. Definitely, as we're working from home, we definitely need structure and routines because our routines have been sort of upended.
Mm-hmm.
So I really appreciate you guys meeting with me again this week and having this conversation. Folks can follow us on social media. We are on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram at TISA Network. We will be posting these videos weekly. We want to be useful to you all. So if you have something that you're having a challenge with in the home, being, socially or emotionally supporting your children, or just sort of getting to a mindful and peaceful state in the home, shoot us a comment and we'll try our best to help you. We want to be a resource to you all. So be safe. Thanks again, and we'll speak next week. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.